Recording in progress.
See any participants up there? No. Okay. All right, I'd like to call to order. Now, your listing board of zoning appeals meeting for July 17, 2024. Members in attendance are David Tyler, Cheryl Thompson, Andy Hillman, and me, Steve Morielli. Also in attendance are town planner Neil Stigerson, and a reporter, Molly Jewell, who will be documenting the proceedings tonight. Probably expecting Karen. Make sure. So we had an agenda before we continue. Does anyone want to add anything to tonight's agenda? All right, so tonight I want to make this a discussion. We're going to do a discussion starting with our first order of business. It's a discussion on the oh good, Karen, Mary.
Sorry, I forgot about grassroots traffic, which
Oh, what? Oh,
grassroots traffic. It took me forever just to turn on to Main Street.
Oh, it's good. You're good.
Yeah.
Just starting up. Thanks, Needles.
Yeah.
Wow.
Appreciate it.
Okay, so the first item of business is a discussion of the updates on the appeal from the applicant Michael Hamilton, who's here, who proposes to subdivide the existing 18.67 acre lot into two lots. Parcel A, approximately 16.28 acre lot, and parcel B, approximately a 2.39 acre lot, with an existing house, barn, and well. The AR zone requires 400 feet of lot width at the front lot line, a minimum side yard setback 30 feet, and a minimum rear yard setback of 75 feet per the code of Town of Ulysses, CTU 212-29. One area variance is requested from the Board of Zoning Appeals tonight as part of an overall subdivision review with the planning board. And that is to reduce the minimum lot width at the front line of at the front lot line of 400 feet to reduce it to 254 feet for proposed parcel B. So that's what we're talking about tonight. It's a continuation of discussion we already had previously at the May 15th meeting. And the appellant is here, right?
Yes.
Okay, you want to give us an update, like anything new? What you do here, and what have you given to us in terms of responding to our discussion last time?
Yes.
My name is Michael. Or know me? I've been here.
Yep.
We did draw on the wetlands with the buffer zone. I know that was one of the highlights that was missed, I believe, in the last sketch map that we did. So as you can see, we do have that there with that 50-foot buffer zone. It's a lot more delineated now, so it's a lot more visible of what we're planning on doing. So we also cleaned up the map and showing just what we're working on and not all the extra numbers and things that were making it confusing.
Thank you.
And we also changed the distance from the back end of the barn and on the side of the barn. We had those actually incorrectly. I think we had done accidentally on 30 feet and 50 feet. We changed those to be in compliance with code and going 40 feet and then 75.
You have that in front of you there? That's the whole.
Yes,
Want to put it there and then post some stuff out to us? Or?
no, absolutely.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Before you ask me questions. So, all right.
No, no problem.
We don't
Yeah.
have that.
We have this. Well, the whole. So that's it.
But if you guys would like, I can always swap with one of you if you'd like if you'd like a larger sheet. I can
point it out. Maybe we. Maybe just. Some stuff.
From 40 feet from the proposed lot line of the north.
Yes, from that corner of the barn, we had to go 40 feet over. Originally, we thought we only had to go 30. And from the back end of the barn, we thought we only had to go 50 feet, but we had to go 75. So those two lines were a change.
So you indicated that you have 40 on the one, put your finger on that.
Yes,
So
40 for here.
75 on the other.
And 75 on the,
Okay, so. Lines, well, the north line is gonna change that, so the west line, 75 feet. That's just a huge idea.
we originally had gone 50, but it was required that we go 75 for the back end of the property line, yeah. So we,
One side.
yeah, so we moved it, instead of it being 50, we went.
Keep the line run, right?
No problem.
That eliminating the need for variances.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was one of those issues, was we had mistakenly,
Yeah.
I looked at the wrong laws and I was like, whoops.
No, that's good, that's fine, and you reduced it down to one variance really, basically, you're going down to.
So,
Now. You're aware that this county planning department. Right?
yes, I was made aware of that, and we have absolutely no interest in building right next to our wetlands in the woods.
Anyway, I guess there's a technical issue here, which I brought up before, and the thing I brought was something else is, I had this. Basically, one other time when I was in Africa, like you. And, you're aware that you have to have a super majority. So in other words, it's four members of. So this one thing is, we were given that opportunity to, they didn't have a full complement of board members there. And,
We're not voting tonight.
What?
We're not voting.
I know,
tonight. Okay.
I'm just telling you, I'm just fixing this so that you're not here next time.
Mhm.
I just want you to be aware that there's maybe four members here. So next time. You would have to have 400 vote in favor. More to get into the super community.
Well, where are you getting super majority? Did I have something?
It's probably better requires us. If we don't.
Yeah, Niels.
So that's only if the board does not take into recommendation for the county. If the county, so if, what I have understood from the applicant, he doesn't have a issue with complying with the county. So if the BZA puts that into the county's comments into their decision, you don't need to have a super majority.
One side of the water.
You only need a super majority if the board decides not to include the county's comments.
Oh, okay.
Right, so
In other words, we go against the county's recommendations.
that's,
Okay.
yeah, that's my understanding.
But I think that's not, I understand that's not what they're calling.
I would hope not, I mean,
I
we're,
mean, he's going.
yeah,
along with it.
we don't want to build in the woods.
I would think, yeah.
Yeah,
But I mean, the wetlands was an issue with the county. I say that's not the issue.
Wetland or, the applicants are going along with what the counties suggest, right?
yes, sir.
Okay. Not an issue with me,
But
and there usually isn't with this board, so I mean, I can't guarantee how everyone's gonna respond, but I think they're okay. All right, thank you.
they're just saying that that's the real.
Yep.
We walk all over the top of the county's recommendation. We have to be a super majority.
Any discussion on this?
You're saying that's not an issue here because of what?
The board only needs a super majority if it doesn't incorporate the county's comments. Right, if it wants to override the county's comments. So I would only see that if the applicant had an issue with it and if a majority of the board also felt that the county's comments were out of line.
And so where are the county's comments? Are from the Borgella?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Point of order, is that a majority plus one of those present or of the total?
The full board.
The full board? Thank you.
Yeah, the full board, right? I ran into that a few times, and said, no, it's not just the members present.
So in other words, we would have to have if we were gonna have both the super majority, we'd have to have 4 members vote in favor.
I have a question.
Yes.
On this one, thanks for all the drawings, by the way. Wow. What is the BSBL?
That's why I have my hand raised.
Oh, okay.
So I drew that up
Oh,
after we got the comments. So BSBL is a acronym for building setback line. Basically, what the county is wanting to have, their comment was that they'd like to have the buildable area on the plat map. I'm not sure how many of you are familiar with subdivisions and plat maps, but it's a really old school way of doing things on plats where you draw out like your setback lines or your buffer lines. So that's what that BSBL. So that's something that the applicant's surveyor would have to do in order to comply with the county's comments.
oh, wow. So they do have to get a survey then.
Yeah, under state law, surveys are required for subdivisions.
Okay.
So you're
And
gonna-
what is that including?
Yeah, after approval, you'll be getting the survey done. Yeah,
I went ahead before approval.
Yeah, that would-
Not money for that.
That would be done.
Okay.
So, this is showing what, like 30 on the edges?
Yeah, it's not to scale, it's just a
Oh,
approximate,
okay.
that would be the setbacks and then the buffer for the streaming wetland. So it would be 75 to the front, 30 on the sides. And 65.
Right there and
That should be a fact of challenge.
Okay. Gotcha.
Can I, just a general question, with the buffer, the wetland buffer, what are the restrictions in that buffer? 50 feet for what? Though? Like, is it
Just for building.
tilling, farming, any of that stuff? No?
Well, ag and markets is something completely different.
That's right.
Yeah, if they wanted to do a building that was not ag, they would have to meet those setbacks.
Oh.
Now, you bring in ag and market, if they wanted to build a barn in, that's a separate issue altogether.
Right.
That'd be a lot of tree line to cut through first.
Yeah, you're in the riparian zone, yeah, next to the water. Next to the water, you had trees, you said?
No, I'm saying this is all tree line.
And
The tree line, it just goes back in trees.
Got it.
Yeah,
So
no, that tree line is just gonna be, that's gonna be left alone.
the sketch or whatever we're getting is to show the building envelope that you're proposing.
I was actually asked not to have it on there. In my original drawings, I did have that because when I went to planning board, they wanted to see the house and the driveway put in. One of my older maps that I had given you guys did have that.
Mhm.
Part of this one, I took it out just to cause less confusion on the fact that, yes, we are gonna be building a house in the front, but the goal was to show you all the lines without making it too,
So we're just going to exclude the wetland, which is.
yes, we are not building our house next to the wetlands, yes.
I guess the other thing that we touched on a little bit last time. It is about the future buildable rights. So under the current plot, 2 homes can be built. And as this is proposed, there could be a total of 3 homes built because 2 could be built in parcel A, which, maybe that's totally fine, but I think it at least needs to be acknowledged. I mean, it is a large lot still, but should at least be, I think, discussed.
May I speak on
The
that?
application says that you were
Yes, and we were, and at our last
We talked
meeting,
about it.
we were willing to put that in. In saying that our intention is to only have one building.
Mhm.
Or one home, I should say, but
No additional structures other than the one you're proposing,
yeah,
and both of those lots.
Well, you probably should,
Yeah,
you need
well,
to make a
not-
distinction between those
yeah, not
structures.
structure,
Cause I
I
think
mean,
they could build
at some point,
sheds
we
and,
might build another
Stuff
barn when
like
we
that.
start getting some cows.
Right.
Residence.
Yeah,
right,
yeah, just one other, just this one
Residence,
residence.
is that the right word?
Dwelling unit?
Dwelling. You,
I see you.
yeah, for next time, we can do that, yeah, so,
Yep.
so. We have done that in the past, and we have some nice language that David wrote up with this tried and true. Lawyer speak and all that stuff, and that would probably, if we did that, and we agreed on it, it would go to, on the, as a restricted covenant on your application, so.
That's
At the
no
end of the
problem.
application, we'd say under the following conditions, and then we had a little statement.
Yes.
Yeah, yes, your title as well.
Oh, and that is no problem. I mean, we plan on living here. Well, as long as we live in.
Yeah.
As long as we live in this area, this is gonna be our home.
Good.
So my mother-in-law's right there. And after she dies, it'll be my brother-in-law living there, so.
Okay,
Let me
And then your
ask you a
kids.
question. I don't know whether you mentioned it before, but there was some discussion of joint driveway for the two.
yeah, but that's not up, that's not in our purview.
Well, no, so I guess.
We will be putting in an easement. Yes,
Okay.
there will be an easement written up for a driveway, mostly because our other driveway is at the far end of our lot in the front yard. And honestly, that's for tractors to come in, so we're.
No,
It'd
you
be a,
just
it'd be a long driveway.
You said it as a favor before, you said just FYI kind of thing, but that's not our purview. And
I
that's-
know, but I guess I wanted to recommend that if, you know, at some point, the two lots go with different ways. You know, when you're all around. Often joint rights of way pose legal issues. And so what I'm saying is you have a choice, you may want to keep it simple.
Well, that's up to him.
We might, but.
You said that last time, so I think we got it, and it's not really our purview there. He's giving you lawyerly advice.
Thank you for that.
free, Right,
right.
No, it's okay.
yeah, a lot of experience and lawyerly advice, but that's not what we're gonna be thinking about here. So the next time we meet, you're gonna put a proposal, appeal in for exactly that, for stated, tell me what you're gonna put it in for. Now, we've done all these other things, and you're gonna appeal one thing only, right?
Yes, just to split these two parcels, or to split this into two parcels, is that what you're asking?
You know, what the appeal is, that
Frontage.
Yes, for the road frontage.
And
Yes,
you asked that zoning officer denied your request, which is why we have it. No?
He's went before the planning board for subdivision, for sketch plot review, so they're pending their final review based on the decision of BZA.
Oh, please.
So it's up to them for the subdivision, it's not up to us, and they're gonna, and basically, if they said, yeah, you can subdivide, but you still have to get you still have to appeal that road frontage
Mhm.
variance. So they're waiting for us, and then we're gonna get it back to them, right? Is that it?
Okay.
That's good. Yeah, you got that?
Yep.
So I think we're really just down to, what, say it again, is it 254 feet, is that where we are?
Yes, sir, 254
So
feet per
254
parcel B,
For what?
for parcel B,
Yeah.
smaller than the two parcels.
The other one's staying at 400, and that's no problem,
Yes.
then we'll change there, and, you're asking for 254, where the, minimum is 400.
Yes,
What?
the new dwelling will be in parcel A, that'll be on the lot that will potentially have B 400 if it is.
I think this is an easy decision with the
It's
additional,
not easy, with the additional.
with the,
Oh,
with,
yeah.
with the, because basically what he's now asking for is permission to do what he'd be allowed to do on a single lot without a variance. So I don't see any concern.
Sure,
Same.
I guess,
as long as we put the
Yeah, exactly.
conditions in, right?
did that suggested language on your request, and then we can forward my email. To everybody.
Well, before we meet and formally, and then we'll accept it or change it or amend it or whatever. Yeah, that sounds good. I like what we did last time when we did that, and we just maybe add a component about, presenting to the town before.
The only thing that's really crucial is words running with land.
Right.
That's very crucial.
I know what's more crucial to me was, you should submit it before you do anything, you should submit it
Oh,
to
yeah, oh, yeah.
the town and the town.
I mean,
Right.
that could be one of our traditions. And what I'm saying is, to have a, that will stand up, has to go with the land,
Mhm.
and it says that. And if it changes, it's gonna have to come back to us,
Mhm.
or to the town.
Yeah, some,
Right.
okay. So he's just saying that this thing is not an agreement, between us, this is going on here, it's a deed restriction, it's going on the property. basically.
Oh, yeah,
It runs with the
yeah.
land, Yeah.
Yeah.
That's.
To only
we
build
covered
one-
that before.
what's it, dwelling unit?
Yeah. See, you should be up there, right? I think, I can't promise anything, but I think let's put it forward as the one, as the 254 feet is egregious. It's really far outside what we normally do, but Karen said it best. These guys have both said it. So given the restrictions, I feel okay about it.
Okay.
Well, I mean, and frankly, land is unique. And
Oh,
this,
literally, neighborhoods are unique, environment's unique,
right,
everything.
exactly.
So we have to consider all these things, like, are you gonna change the nature of the environment and the neighborhood and all these things, it's like. Gotta balance them all out.
Yeah, there's no way in heck that they can do what they wanna do without this variance.
Maybe, okay, I mean, that's one of the things we have to consider, but,
Right.
yeah. Any more discussion? Would you like to add anything else? Before you get back to your other extra child?
Nope, I think I'm all set, so.
Then-
Oh, you got an extra,
Thank you.
you got
Yes.
another,
Baby
Yeah,
brother.
we had our,
congratulations.
now we're done.
Congratulations. That's good. Okay, excellent. I think we're good. We're good here. Anything to add?
Just so staff's clear, do you need anything from the applicant for the next meeting, or are we good with what we have?
Just whatever, just, you said that the survey was required, so,
Surveys are required for the planning board.
okay,
Yeah. So
We- we
he
can
would,
go with that.
he wouldn't do that without us okaying and then send
Oh,
it to the
gotcha,
board
gotcha.
and then okay.
Okay.
Otherwise, he put out a lot of money if we say no.
yes.
Right?
I prefer not to do that, yeah.
Yeah, I've been caught in that situation before too, yeah.
Anything else?
And then are we good to schedule a meeting or hearing date?
That's gonna be a tough one. So David's gone for all of August, you said?
Here in September.
Neil's proposed that we do a quicker turnaround on a meeting
Fine.
So
than a month, then 1 month.
the next meeting will be the 21st, which is 5 weeks out. That's your regular schedule.
I know.
Sorry.
I'm running through my calculator. I can make that one.
On the 21st.
Anybody want to pick up on this?
I'm okay with that.
Just the regular 1 month
21.
meeting, I mean, it puts them off a whole nother month,
Oh,
puts them up a whole
Oh,
nother
okay.
month,
Why don't we do it today?
lots of reasons.
Okay,
Okay.
I could do it sooner also, I think I'm done with traveling for a while.
My schedule's a little uncertain because of having to testify at some hearings where my date of testimony is not definitively scheduled,
What is it
but
set yet? No.
yeah. And of course, I don't have a lot of say. Sometimes I can do
Yeah.
plus or minus, but
Is that true for the 21st also?
21st of August, or is that what we're talking about?
No, that's, I'm
Or-
just, see,
or 20
I can make the 21st, which is our normal schedule,
Oh.
third Wednesday of the month.
So
Yeah, I've tried to keep
I will definitely,
every
Just-
scheduled
We
one.
did that, we talked about it.
Available.
For the sake of it.
Oh,
Just
did
for
we,
the record, I wasn't trying to prejudge the decision, but just, I did, what I was, given the constrictions on this plan, the wetlands and so forth.
Mhm.
I think this is the only logical and doable thing.
Mhm.
oh, neighbor input or?
Well, that will come after this neighbor input, right?
Right.
Nothing from the community yet, all right?
Correct.
But it will
We
be
really-
posted now because we're deciding the hearing.
We haven't advertised, but we gotta give at least 2 weeks for that. So you can't turn around and do this tomorrow.
Okay, so we could do 3 weeks would be the earliest.
That's what we've done in the past. We turned around and gone, oh, 2 weeks or 3 weeks or something.
Well, by the way-
Quickly, but I don't know if we can.
If we pass this, this is ready with the regulation tonight, will the town prepare the little notice board that is going to be required?
Well, let's talk about that right after we.
Oh, but it's-
Talk about this. Yeah, we're gonna talk about that.
So,
It's a good question. I don't know when. but-
So if we wanted to meet earlier, I get the 7th, the 14th, the 21st, any of those Wednesdays are okay.
Oh, really?
What about the 31st?
The 31st is okay as well.
Oh, that's only 2 weeks, so that's probably not
That's 2
enough
weeks,
time.
I won't be here.
Okay,
I don't.
Dave won't be here, so.
and
Really slow game. I think Bob probably will still be in Massachusetts doing this stuff.
So, okay,
We're getting low on numbers.
What's the timeline for your surveyor?
Well, we'll be doing the surveying as soon as we get approval from it. So I don't have a timeline, I don't even have a surveyor just yet. But I'll be getting one. Soon, and setting something up as soon as, if we get approval.
Where did that survey that you had come from?
I can't recall, it's actually been weighted out. I do have an original somewhere, I just don't recall, it was done back in 2017. So I don't know if the company is still doing it.
I think probably it's strategic Miller because they're almost exclusively doing work up there.
I'm not sure it was though.
Quite possibly.
We saw that old one, 20. I didn't feel like it was that, but maybe,
Or it has the 7th been, we tried the 7th yet? August 7th.
I think August 7th will work for me. I do actually have a remote deposition scheduled that day, but more than likely it would be done. It's an East Coast, thankfully not California, so it should be done.
Of your home.
I'm sorry?
You can sit in the comfort of your home and do it?
Yes.
No, that's.
Most of them have been remote since the pandemic, actually. I can't do the 14th more than likely because I am currently scheduled to be in flight.
So 7th, maybe okay for you.
I think this-
Okay for me, sure. Okay.
How many days is that now?
3 weeks.
Mhm.
The fast turn.
Can I let you all know tomorrow? Is that okay?
What about you?
7th, okay for you?
Oh, yes,
I mean, you guys have to be here and.
my schedule is pretty much always pretty safe.
Do I have to testify or anything? Okay.
No, I am not doing anything like that for
All
a
right,
few
no,
years.
that's good. So,
Bob's not that.
Rob will not be back. Rob.
That's back in the.
I think we're up to keep,
Their bones.
1, 2, 3, 4. Only 4 of us.
I think we can handle it.
Without David,
No, we're 4 tonight.
it'll be for the 4 of us if I say yes. 2,
And David already gave us a lot of good input, so we're good to go.
okay, agreed. All right, let's say that, I'll let you know tomorrow, okay? I think so, I think I'm good, we'll be back.
Just have to remember to come now.
Well, yeah, we'll make sure we schedule it. You'll be around tomorrow? Yep. Okay, great, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, that's good. We all ready to go.
Yeah, I did not spell out the terms of the covenant, specific terms of covenants. I think that's not even good, so I'm just saying, that would be. Each of the paper, do that. If we do it, we'll do it.
And so meeting what?
I gave you the broad outline of the covenant. I just spell out the terms of specific covenant.
Great.
Not, you know,
You did not, like saying one dwelling unit and all that.
Have a wonderful evening.
Me too.
Thank you.
But
Hey, thanks.
No problem.
Congratulations
Thanks so much.
on the home front.
Thank you.
why don't you could provide, you know, one drawing on, you know, what's, you know, appropriate house or whatever. I just, we didn't have a
That's
chance.
the only thing that's missing.
Yeah, what I'm saying is, that's not there.
That's in our, we did, I thought we did a nice job with the
There was one last year.
Du Bois Road, right? That was a pretty good one, but I just wanted to add another thing, that statement that David said. They should file, they need to file it with the town, remember that?
County, yeah.
County and then in town.
I can drop that into the resolution,
Okay.
and if there's anything more.
I'll send it to you, I'll send it in his words.
Make sure it's. Your, the county clerk's office records. It would be on record here in the town. Yeah. Automatically.
If it goes to the county, you say?
I'm not saying, when we take the action, that's gonna be part of the record of the town,
Right.
but. The county clerk's. Reporting of that covenant is not, that we found out. It's-
Yeah, Paris. Mhm. I don't know where they went either. Where did they go? Where did Paris go? Did they go last? Move forward?
Yeah, they got approval, they're trying to get their SWIFT review done.
Oh,
I assume they've got their covenant on record, you have a copy of it, right?
That's part of the, yeah, they did that as part of the building.
We have, who is file both grammar and copy, right?
Skylar, I'm not aware of.
That should be required. Tyler and copies. That's both counties.
anyway, those are just the words they. There's a picture on that thing. Okay, good. So that's, I think we had one additional item. And it was the amendment to the code. Which is the local law amending section of the town code regarding posting board and zoning appeals notice here. Anybody get that? That was in the, one of the three things I sent, it's yellow. And did you get it to us, Stu? Copy?
You show
was-
for the copy, for copy.
Okay. Great. We got that wrong. And it's just one yellow paragraph and one paragraph, just a sentence, it's two.
Yeah, so that's
And that's it?
that's legal's proposal. That's the only change, is that stuff in yellow.
All right.
This is county.
We have that, that's the idea here.
That's county proposal.
And this is in addition to all the requirements, publication and hearing notice pursuant to laws of the state,
I got it here.
yeah. In a manner that is readily visible to the public, in the nearest adjacent public road at least 10 days prior to the subsequent public hearing.
Sounds good.
But
Sounds good to me.
But what does that exactly mean
I
in
know.
terms of size of
Size
the
and
sign and font?
font,
And doesn't it differ if it's a 55-mile-per-hour road versus a 20-mile-per-hour road?
What happens, most municipalities, when they have this requirement, they actually prepare the sign that they want to have posted, so.
Right.
The applicant
Yeah.
has to come to see the zoning officer to get the sign, the zoning officer would.
do you know, I think it says, in addition to all other requirements for publication, or I guess that's not the sign, was it?
And would the sign just say notice of public hearing, or would there be details of what
Good question.
the hearing? And then do you have enough space on the sign to put all that? Because I think we also have a restriction on the size of signs on properties in our
You do,
zoning.
you do, it's not gonna be a billboard.
Yeah. So a couple things that. There's no requirement under state law for size dimensions, so it's all under local law. And currently, we don't have any size things spelled out, so. When I came in here, our signs were really sad. They were maybe about this big, yellow, it was really hard to read. We have something for the planning board that's about 4 feet by 3 feet, and it's basically red. At the top, it's very bold, it says public hearing or notice of public hearing. And then there's a big white space that, so we reuse the boards that are plastic
Okay.
board and. We basically laminate the sheet, the notice along with the site plan. So that people can see it now. If you're going 55 miles an hour. All you're really gonna see is notice of hearing.
And so if you're interested, you can
You know,
stop by.
pull over.
But I assume you will, provide, a summary of instances on this proposed hearing, proposed subdivision. Maybe that's, please, people in.
I agree. That sounds good.
You know, I mean, don't have to have a big long song.
I don't mind showing a picture site plan on there, something like that.
But
Our concern.
they don't have to stop the car and get out, like, as long as they know basically what's going on, then they can tell if they're interested or not, and then they can.
Go to the
look it up.
website, right?
Yeah, well, modern, magical.
The village screwed up, I think. They did this approval of the South Street. They had to really posting of the notice. Handwritten words.
Yeah.
all-
Small font,
Yeah, ridiculous. I think what you need to do is just to have 5-word summary on the sign.
Is that up to you then? Who does the actual writing of the sign?
Yeah, so unless it's actually spelled out in code, which.
Yeah.
At this point, I don't know if I go down that rabbit hole. There are a few sites that still are posted. Probably the most recent is Morris Marine, they went through a public hearing last night. So if you have time, I'm not sure if their sign's still up because it's technically down, but if it's still up, you can get a gist, but
Where's that?
again,
Under boy,
Boys Road, yeah.
what are they gonna do? Or,
they're doing a lean-to on the side of the building to get their workers out of the sun.
I mean, we're approving this proposed.
yeah, it's interesting because I drive that road a couple times a week and I've never seen the sign.
It's
Posting a notice.
right in front of, right where they're.
I've probably driven 5 times in the past 2 weeks. I don't remember seeing anything that caught my attention.
Yeah, I wonder if there could
Oh,
be some kind of,
Yeah, I drive by there because if my husband doesn't have good weather to bicycle, he usually bicycles to work, but if he doesn't, then I drive him or pick him up. And because of all the inclement weather we've had recently, he's required more
Tornadoes
chauffeurs.
and cares. Yeah.
I
So you
wonder
didn't
if
see
there
it?
could be some kind of
I
thing,
didn't notice it.
the town of Ulysses there, like a. Just, no, not that thing, but something that's like, says it's the town, so they don't think the person is just doing their personal sign about.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
That's what's gonna give assurance, so this wouldn't be subject to the town's sign ordinance. So we're not restricted to that. But yeah, so at the top it says. Notice of public hearing, down at the bottom, it has a seal. And I'm pretty sure in block letters it says town of US.
That's good.
It's pretty,
I guess what I'm proposing is a little addition to this proposed local law, which posted with a brief description of the proposed action.
Yeah, just naming the proposed action, like you said, like proposed subdivision, that's enough to tell them,
This one would be proposed subdivision, but I mean, what I'm saying is,
yeah, whatever it is.
we should provide for posted with a brief description of the involved municipal action, whatever. I guess I'm suggesting if we're looking to approve this, I would say, please propose it with a brief, have the words with a brief description of the proposed action. on the subject property, and then.
Yeah, that's enough for those actions.
So,
We don't need all the rest of this words.
so I think if you take the first part of what Nate's proposing, it says notice of public hearings. Shall, and if you go down, be posted on the subject property. So when we do notice to neighbors and the paper. It's basically getting to what David says. It says notice of public hearing, gives a brief description. That same notice that gets published in the newspaper is what gets laminated onto that board. So it's the same verbiage, everything, so everything is consistent.
So where are you suggesting that this summary?
So it's more words
Summary
and
goes?
less of
I
a.
don't think it needs to be changed because it says notice of public hearing shall be posted on the subject property. So the note, that notice is the notice that we give to the neighbors and to the newspaper. And it's what we already put onto the boards for the planning board.
Yeah, so it sounds like notice has a legal meaning almost.
It does.
What I'm suggesting is this posted notice should have something. I mean, it's.
It does.
Notice of hearing is no good.
It has a description and that we also put on the site plan of what's going on.
There's probably another document that details what a notice must
What I'm
include, right?
saying is, this local law should.
Yeah.
Specify what the summary is that we're talking about.
Yeah, and I think Niels is saying the notice by its nature or form does automatically include that.
In detail, not, it's just, the only thing we said was like a brief, summary of what you're saying and all the rest. But I'm fine, I am fine with it, I'm fine. You have to, I like the big block letters saying notice of, that's good. And it says town of Ulysses somewhere, it's legible, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I think most people, if they're driving by and see it, if they're curious. I mean, I think most addresses are now pretty visible because of the way the lots are marked with the green sign.
Yeah.
So people can pretty easily look up what is this hearing about.
Yeah, but what I'm worried about. I'm worried about litigation. If somebody, if a neighbor has a nose out joint. And
Who's litigating what? What he puts on in the newspaper,
Right,
what he
what-
sends out in the,
but,
I don't know,
No,
that doesn't sound reasonable.
no, I mean, but it's.
We have a notice, every time we have a meeting,
Right,
we put out a public notice.
right, but what I'm
That
saying
public
is,
notice is also gonna be on this sign, is what Neil said. I'm fine with it. I don't think we're ever gonna get litigation for that.
well,
public notice.
you're saying that this simple notice, I have not seen, but you're saying. Give me an example of what what you're gonna put on the sign.
He just did, he just told you. It's the public notice that we send out to the newspaper. It's the one we send out to the neighbors. And it's the one that we kind of read over here on the camera.
It's not too much to put on this.
Well, that's the other, that's not litigation though, so let's not dance around,
No,
litigation.
but
Okay, we dispelled that.
But if he's doing less than what we send the neighbors,
he's not. He's just said it is the same thing.
okay, if you.
Same thing,
Right.
same thing.
Okay.
Alright, so that's it. I think we're fine. And the only question we posed up front was, well, how about a summary instead of the whole thing? But I'm fine with this. This is great.
Yeah, I think
Because
the
he's gotta
simpler
do
it can
the
be, the
work,
better.
Somebody's gotta edit, someone's gotta do the, set the sign in a way that it's acceptable and all that. That's just asking way too much, so.
Yeah,
no,
but suppose
Suppose
you have a really complex hearing of issues.
he does a good job. Those notices are pretty good, so.
I know. but
When we
I
run
guess
into a problem, let's talk about it. I don't really wanna do a hypothetical.
No, what I'm saying is, this is the law, local law. And what I'm saying is, trying to include the full notice. I would say the full notice or a summary thereof.
I'm okay with the way it is, and I'll tell you, I would like to fight this battle when it becomes an issue. And it's
No,
not.
you'll find it right now, because this is, the town board's gonna adopt this local law, right?
Yeah,
Okay, well, let's have it the way we want it.
I mean, I get you. I understand you. That doesn't mean I'm convinced, but I do hear you. I hear you. You want more on that?
Yeah, I mean.
Anybody else want?
Yeah,
Okay,
deal
well,
with that.
I think Neil's explained it well, and I think if you've got a fixed sign that is gonna be reused, which is an efficient way to go. If you start trying to do a summary that adds some additional challenges to put it on a sign that's going to be reused.
Lots of additional challenges.
Yes,
Lots of-
yes, so I think exactly what Neil's explained of the same notice that's sent out, can just laminate it and post it. And I think it also addresses David's concern about consistency of verbiage. And I don't know, to me, it seems pretty clear.
Molly,
So I actually make the signs for the planning board, and maybe we'll get them back soon, so we could actually show you, but the notice that gets sent to the neighbors, if you've ever seen those. I take it and I just blow it up as big as possible,
Mhm.
and I put it on the sign, and then I put the site plan on the sign as big as
Mhm.
possible. So it's the same as what's posted on the website, and what sent to the neighbor, and what goes on the paper. So you wanna change that,
That sounds good.
simplify it, but that's the plan for tonight there for now.
Picture. Ithaca,
yeah, see it?
Ithaca sign, but I can't find, oh, this pretty pictures, basically it was just notifying, hey, this is.
I think we're down to David saying we should, if this is the law and we're amending it, we should put some words in. So what that hearing really is, what that notice really is, I think, right?
The city
That's
of,
understood.
the city, is not put the full notice on the sign.
Says that this parcel is subject to
Mhm.
your appeal.
Right. What they're telling us is their standard practice is to do a very thorough job. And I think what I'm hearing you say is it's not written in here. What goes on that side? So can you give me 3, 4 words to add to this? 5, I give you 5.
Okay, what are the 5? I thought you said,
Well, I think he wants you to come up with it.
Yeah, I just don't want 5 more pages of stuff. It's challenging.
posted with. Notice or a summary thereof.
I think that actually introduces more risk. When you say or summary thereof, then
Yeah, I don't like the
you're
summary.
given an option and then it might not be consistent with what the full story is. I think if it's understood as, and at first I think I maybe had the question that you had, David, but after Neil's explained that notice of public hearing has a true meaning, then I think what you're concerned about is actually encompassed in those first few words.
The first few words you're talking about is.
Notice of public hearings.
That's the most important thing. I mean, the discussion of this all came about because we wanted to make sure that everyone who might be just outside of the mailing, limit or have an interest in it could see, hey, something's happening here. Then if they're interested, it's up to them to find out, what that notice.
Yeah, the thing that we're
Public hearings.
trying to, we weren't worried about litigation or other things, we were worried about, oh, I didn't even know that was happening. I never
Right.
knew. I mean, I could have looked in the newspaper, I guess, what newspaper I don't even know, but
Right.
I could have looked online, I guess, but I didn't, because I drive to work every day. Would have been nice to go, oh, hey, there's something going on there, I want to.
The city does a nice job in terms of. I thought, I haven't dealt with them very much, but over the years, it was quite simple. It didn't require people to get their magnifying glasses. That's why
I noticed one right in front of Max's.
On the way in or the way out?
That's driving down Sunset, 50 miles an hour.
Yeah, they know there's a crashes right in front of the sign, right?
So, yeah, anyway, it's, so I looked at that and I thought, I wonder what they're doing. If I had any more interest in that, I could have come
Yeah,
down.
right, oh, something's going on, me too, actually, that's fine. I'm actually fine with this, and anybody wanna add anything before should we put it to a vote, what are we doing here, Niels?
Just if there was any additions or changes, let me know so I can take that to the town board. And
As a committee or individual, what do you say? I mean, here tonight,
yeah,
I mean, the town has to, board has to act on this. We're not ones who.
no, but we could certainly say, yeah, it's fine, well, we get behind you doing this, go ahead and change this. Because this is the first of a couple, because we also wanna increase the distribution radius. And I had something to add to all this when we're done with this.
And this all goes to just greater transparency for local government, that's good.
I'm fine, I don't mind that, but based on what that was, it didn't have anything about that, so now it does, so I'm fine with it.
Mhm.
Anybody else?
It's fine.
Seems good.
Okay, not unanimous, but
Close.
I like it.
okay.
It's improved.
An improvement, yeah, thank you. It's getting there. I do have a question to ask. I ran into, doing my studying for my position here. I ran into all the other, I think even New York State said that the cost of that should be borne by the applicant.
That's what the city does, or I think you have a.
Posting signs and all that, distributing,
so the,
because we talked about that, and it's like, how much will that cost and all that? Well, it should be borne by,
so the notice to the paper is brought by the applicant.
okay,
Yeah, and
well, the sign should be too, I think, so,
we kind of wrap that up into our application fees.
okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Particularly if it's reused, basically it would be the fee of printing and laminating and then the time for somebody to
Yeah.
take it and install it.
Forward the city charges, I think it's like $50.
But it like you said, it's built in and,
Well,
so they are varying
But
costs.
we suggested that they increase the radius though, so we did talk
That
about what was
will-
gonna bear the price of.
Right, that was the increase
So,
for the town.
More stamps.
Yeah, more stamps.
And
Yep.
stamps are going up again if they haven't
I
already.
know.
read.
So the town bought a bunch of forever stamps 10 years ago.
they should sell them. They're gonna make a lot. Okay, anything more to add to end this discussion time? 85, good, 485, you like?
Okay, good job. Move to adjourn.
Yeah, okay, I got enough. No, not tonight. We don't have them.
The May minutes,
Oh, I know,
you sent them.
The what?
You did send minutes that at least I reviewed.
I did?
Yeah.
You did?
Yes.
Oh, sure, I didn't read them. I thought, I did.
I read them,
I
they
didn't
were
have the
good.
agenda?
Yeah, they were fine.
I vote to approve.
Okay.
I can second.
Bob might want to weigh in on some of the stuff because he had some good things to say, but I think.
Okay, good, I hear a motion to approve this. Yeah, yeah, that's a, all in favor?
I
Somebody said it?
I seconded it.
All in favor? Aye. And me too, because apparently we can't even if they didn't read. Okay, motion
You're
passes.
trusting us.
Minutes are approved. Sorry, Molly. Great job, I'm sure. I'm sure.
Simple for me, nice.
I usually am like,
I know, she might want us to wait till you can, yeah, she get really into it.
I do.
Time was 5 months, now, what happened was May minutes.
Oh, we would have done next time, I thought. I just didn't, I don't know why. I don't know why we didn't.
Very good.
Send it out.
We have the minutes. Now I can motion.
Okay, motion adjourned, second, all in favor?
I.
It's unanimous. Motion is adjourned. Thanks.
Eight.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks, everybody.